too much stuff.
Like the ship stuff, or it's like Nona is carrying many?
Kind of both.
I mean, you're just throwing it in a pile on the ship.
That's true. We're not that
under
organized.
my bed, mind you. I hid it real good. I have 3 data slabs. One of them is technically a black slab, so I don't know if that does all of the things that a normal slab does, but I know it's also for hacking.
The dark web.
Yeah, it gets you so you can go buy your pianos.
That one has space pinball on it.
Oh,
So it gives you +1 to fun.
the forbidden
It's a good
games. Oh my god, I remember Space Pinball. That was legit.
Yeah. It's the best game when you didn't have internet.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Star on the Right podcast.
Wait, I need to start my timer.
Space pinball, thematically appropriate. There's gonna be one session that's just gonna be like Jeff making the sounds,
And then we have to guess where the ball is based on the noise you make. Quick, David, left flipper.
roll a reflex throw.
So far in that game.
And welcome back to the 7th Star to the Right podcast. This is our 16th session. How are people doing?
You know,
Doing good, Jeff.
Jeff,
Good.
I really want to go home. I really wish you'd let us leave.
You can't leave
just
until you
keep
finish
us
the
at the
campaign.
table.
We've been here for 48 hours.
Shut up and you read the script.
What do people remember from last session?
Oh, so many things. Oh, I
Maybe
didn't-
say them out
I didn't
loud.
call
That's
this
one of
out,
us.
But I thought we were gonna get killed by Tony the entire time because he heard this prophecy and then he was doing all kinds of like psychic stuff to people.
Yeah, he was touching people on the shoulder, which was not necessarily welcomed or asked for, and
Yeah.
weird things was happening when he did that.
That was bad touch.
Little invasive.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we yelled at
stanky,
him for
man.
that, I'm pretty sure. Or like at least a light scolding.
Yeah. He was told off.
Yeah. And well, there's that. And
So-
then we left. And then we did I think we started the God.
We
What are
like
those
drill.
called? Spike drill, thank you.
Yeah.
I knew it
you were
started with
able-
an S, but words are hard.
You guys got into metadimensional space at the end of the last episode.
Yeah.
So a couple of other things that happened, like Tony inserting himself into your business was definitely one of the major ones that came from him overhearing the 2 generals prophecy given to you by Claire, which you guys said, huh, that's neat, and then promptly didn't talk about it at all. Not bitter.
Correct.
Not bitter at all.
Let's sit
excuse
here.
me.
Let's sit here and figure out Jeff's story. Let's ruin the next like however long we do this for right now.
And then Tony sort of sat you guys down, talked to you about how he got his powers, which is not how normal people get their powers.
Political
and
powers.
how he thinks that Claire might be in a similar boat. And then just kind of left it there and said, hey,
we were like, huh, neat.
I'm
And
going-
then we left.
yeah, exactly. And he basically said, like, I'm going to try and look into this. I'm not exactly sure where to start, but I'm just going to look into it. And if I learn anything, I'll try and reach out to you guys.
Tony
To the
will let you
library.
know once Jeff figures out what the heck he wants to do.
To the library, Tony.
But don't worry, I've
The
got
Library
all
of
of the
Space Congress.
plans. I have like a pin board of like all of the string in my bedroom.
Is it red? Is it red?
Oh, it has to be red.
I'm
There
just
is
checking.
there is a red string.
It connects everything.
and the Tony's right in the middle of it. And then off to the side, there's just a question mark, a tear-stained piece of paper.
A little sticky note attached to it that just says multiple Tonys question mark, question mark, question mark.
There's another yellow post-it that says sponsor.
Into the Tonyverse.
Anyone can be Tony.
So yeah, that's basically
where we are.
what
We're in
happened.
space.
Nona, you left Quinn in that sort of situation with the Paragon freelancers because you didn't really know what better thing to do at the moment. And you guys, I believe, talked a little bit about it, but are heading probably in the direction of Orsiame
Yes,
in the
we are.
Magalca system. So,
Well, we spike drilled in that direction, and as we learned from the last time we did this, you can't Tokyo drift your way out of the spike drill. So that's where we're going.
nope, you
Straight
make your
line.
way. It's yeah, your destination is in mind, and once you've locked in your destination, you can't really change that around unless you want to get lost in metadimensional space, which would be a bad end to the podcast.
Multi-spike drifting.
Fantastic.
So as we talked about before, this traveling between systems takes a while, especially when you guys have the lower end spike drive that you do have. There's other levels that shorten the length of this trip. But as you remember before, this took 6 days and it will take 6 days again. So at this point in time, it's just sort of you guys, the Alix, Micah, Nona, Claire, and Argos on this ship heading towards the Magalca System. Do you guys have any plans as to what you want to do as when you get out, or what are you doing to spend these next couple of days?
I'm going to pull Claire aside and just kind of check in with her. Say like, hey, so you still are kind of feeling joining up with the Acolytes, right? I mean, I know we talked about it a little bit before, but since we're going back home, you want to tag along?
Yeah, I want to find somewhere to, fit in. I don't really have much else to go back to, so something where I can help out. And yeah, they're great. Listen, you're gonna fit right in. I think this would be good for you. I think this is really good. Tell you what, why don't we I can show you how to use a gun, something like that. That might help. I think that this could do a lot for your confidence. What do you say? Yeah, I was actually going to ask something like that because I know right now I haven't been the most helpful. Been a little bit of and she sort of looks down and kicks around some dirt.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
God, someone needs to, Alex is going to spend the 6 days sweeping.
Cleaning up around here.
Seriously.
And Noah's like, where did this come from? It just comes with one of those brushes. And just
space dirt.
Opens the airlock.
Release it into space.
Can we get a space Roomba?
Oh my God. That's what Nona's going to spend her 6 days doing.
But I don't know how good I'll be with a gun. I should try, but I would also like to maybe practice my telepathy a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's train you up a little bit. This will be fun.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
And so, are you guys going to go and do that right now?
Yeah, let's go. I mean, I guess. Yeah. Do we have a train? I'm trying to remember the layout of the ship, or just in the cargo bay if there's not a better place to do it.
Yeah, the cargo bay would be the largest, most open spot. So to remind you guys about the layout of the ship, since you're going to be spending some time on it. There's 2 levels. There's the first level, which is basically the cargo bay. It also has the freighter elevator that goes up to the second, but also the catwalk around. Think of the inside of the Firefly.
Oh, I am.
Serenity.
Constantly.
And then on the second level is where all of the living quarters are. So the bedrooms and the spare bedroom that you guys have, the kitchen, the sort of living area off of the kitchen, as well as the cockpit. And also the smuggler's hold is on that second
I'll call
level.
out. I've been listening back over old episodes, and I vaguely remember us also having a fire pole or a fireman's pole.
I don't remember.
I think I actually
Is that
drew that
true?
in somewhere, yeah.
I think we have
I
a
forgot
fireman's
about
pole.
that. That's
Yeah,
very
we
important.
just saw it as
Yeah.
we were walking onto the ship for the first
Oh,
time.
yeah.
And it was never mentioned again, but
Yeah,
I'm just going to throw this
Oh,
information
yeah.
out there. We have a fireman's pole.
No, that's very important. Thank you.
Yeah, the fireman's pole is right next to the stairs to the catwalk. So yeah,
Excellent.
kind of how the cargo works. The cargo bay sort of works in that you take stairs up into the catwalk, and then you can take another set of stairs, which takes you to the second level. So the catwalk is kind of like a
In between.
secondary in between,
Floor 1.5,
Floor.
if you will.
if you will. So you want to go to the cargo bay and
Yeah.
Target practice.
Practice. I'm gonna bring one of
on the
the.
inside of a ship.
All right.
What
Dodge, Claire.
Yeah. If you can dodge a bullet, you can dodge a ball.
Like I want to try and bring one of those cool pre-tech rifles that I don't think we've actually fired yet, or maybe Nona did off screen.
I think we went to a range and fired them, remember? And then they like took air, and then we had that whole question about whether they'd work in the vacuum of space. We haven't technically figured out.
We have. Okay, so they don't just like shoot explosions, so that's good.
They do shoot shrapnel, which tends to jump off of metal.
It's true.
Okay. Maybe
so
a normal.
You want to have something that catches the bullet.
Maybe
I
like a
think in
normal
general,
laser rifle or something
having
instead.
something that catches the bullet might be a good plan. Also, if they're doing this in the cargo bay, is the cargo bay where we're keeping our hover bikes?
Most definitely.
Okay,
that
cool.
would have to be where.
So, one of my things on my to-do list was to go back and check out the hover bike that I mildly damaged by hitting that one guy with, and see if I can just, like bang that out or make it look slightly better.
Scrub out the caked in blood.
Exactly. Clean out the little
bit of spinal fluid.
Oh no.
Hey, he was alive after I hit him. Someone else shot him.
Yeah, but they're leather seats.
So the as Claire and Micah are sort of prepping this area to have some form of rudimentary shooting range, you go and start to look at the bikes, and one of them pristine condition, maybe a little dusty because it was taken out into like a plateau, like dust bowl area. The other one is a little bit rougher, has a little bit more dust on it, but all of the damage to it is superficial.
Sure.
Like there are no components missing or broken. It's just you dented the chassis a little bit. So it's trivial to sort of bang it out. Yeah.
Cool.
So you do that. They're both in sort of pristine condition. Again, are you also going to wash them off? Keep them nice and clean.
Yes. Get that space dirt off of them. I will not have this. Also, do we have any leftover paint? Because these could probably use flames too.
Yes.
I'm going to say yes.
Fantastic.
Glenk probably lent you guys say like, you guys already opened these cans. Go and keep them go. If you need to do a touch up or something.
Fantastic. Like that. I'm going to spend some time painting flames on the sides of these things and potentially commenting on the shooting gallery if I so feel inclined.
Okay. I'm going to make note of that to make sure. Flames.
I should write that down too.
Yeah. Flames on bikes. Very important. One of the most important notes I've ever taken. Alix, is there anything that you're particularly doing while this is happening?
Not really. I think he'll be spending most of his time on the second floor, might come down to the catwalk if everybody's in the cargo bay anyway. He's drinking a lot of coffee is how I'm imagining it. Just like every time you see him, he'll have like a mug of coffee in his hands.
It's a different colored mug every single time you look up.
So Micah, you and Claire have set up this sort of rudimentary shooting range. You're facing towards the back of the ship where the cargo bay opens up to sort of like a landing pad. Are you going to use the conventional weaponry, or are you going to use one of those laser rifles that was given to you by the Paragon freelancers?
Laser rifle seems like it'll probably do the least damage.
Yeah,
so
we'll just add some scorch marks.
Yeah, scorch marks are fine. We can get the
Should
space
we give
ribbons
her
to
a
clean
pistol instead of a rifle?
Yes, we definitely should.
But, I mean, does she have a gun she'd like to try? What feels right to you? What sits right in your hands, hon?
And so you effectively you've given her a choice of these two weapons.
Yeah.
No.
And you give her the rifle, and it looks like it's almost the size of her, and she's just sort of like having it curled to her body. It's like, maybe the smaller one to start out with.
Okay, give me that one back. Yeah, that. All right.
The one chooses the wizard.
So we have a laser pistol, none?
Yep. So you've given her
Yes.
a standard laser pistol. What have you guys have set up for targets?
Probably some extra crates, probably not ones that like have drugs or guns in them.
The
Space
drugs got ejected into space.
Yeah, there's
Right.
more crates with drugs in them.
So-
'Cause we definitely injected all of them. Every single of the drugs.
There's also
No, you
Alex.
kept 10 of them.
Oh
didn't
yeah,
you?
no, I was lying.
Alex at
Oh,
one
okay.
point was doing target practice in the cargo hold.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
So
you
yeah.
there's
wrapped up,
there's
like, pillows
yeah
and
there's
stuff.
like pillows and blankets and stuff there. If we have the paint, we can, I don't know how fancy we want to do. We can put like a bullseye on
Bullseye?
it.
Oh,
I like that idea.
I like that idea.
Okay, we're putting
Oh,
a bullseye on
We'll
this.
draw
It's
some
happening.
flames on the side. And
And I was
Yep.
like, this needs more, and just adds little flames around the bullseye. So you've got this firing range set up. You probably have 20 or 30 meters, or do you want to start a little bit closer and then move?
Let's start
back?
a little closer.
All right. So 10 meters is about 10 yards, right?
Ish, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, give or take some. So you guys start 10 meters away. And are you going to be coaching her through
Yeah,
this? Or
so
just
I'm gonna-
just go for it. Just pull the trigger and go for it.
I think I'm gonna let her like fire a couple first and like observe, and then maybe like demonstrate, like try to do a little more like this. You know, that kind of back and forth.
I assume you've also, before you did anything else, coached her about gun safety.
I was just going to say if Micah didn't, Nona definitely did.
So I actually don't use conventional guns very much, so I think Micah forgot that. So Nona, feel free
okay,
to
yeah,
start.
Nona's gonna cut in and like word for word be like, "This is how one should use a gun." Rule
Mhm.
1.
Yeah.
it's like, all right, you can't just think and destroy. Like,
Yeah, like full disclosure, I actually don't really know how to shoot normal guns very well.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Because you use effectively telekinesis to shoot people.
Yeah, it's all very intuitive. So we'll see how much of my instruction actually helps.
Fantastic.
So and Nona walks her
Yeah.
through like that. Don't point the thing unless you're ready to destroy it. Don't put
It
your
is
finger on the trigger.
surprisingly
Unless...
similar to the exact lesson that Nona got off of Space YouTube. How to shoot a gun.
Of course, the
Naturally.
important place to learn all of your gun safety.
YouTube, yeah.
So she no, I'm actually going to roll an attack roll for her.
Oh, good.
Yeah, this is not going to go well because she has a -1 shoot right now.
I mean, if she just like points it in the right direction, probably no one will die.
Oh, no one's gonna. She has taken all of your teachings to heart. She has
Fantastic.
like she knows where the safety is on the thing. She knows not to put her finger on the trigger until she's ready to shoot. She knows not to point it at anything unless she is ready to destroy it. So like all of you are definitely back and maybe even
Fantastic.
set up like a little like shield for you guys to sort of
Hiding
like
behind
peek
it.
behind.
And
Go
Nona's
on.
down.
We believe in you, honey. Just shoot it.
and she's like, what?
Oh my god.
And she takes the first couple of shots and nope. So she rolled a 4, a 10, and a 15. So she takes 3
Wow.
shots at this.
She got better really fast.
Yeah. So she takes a couple shots at this, and the first one doesn't even hit. Like it doesn't even hit the target that you guys have created from 10 meters away. It shoots off and just hits the back.
Maybe a
of
little bit
the
closer
door.
to start
And
then.
you guys, you yelling words of encouragement. The second shot,
You suck.
you suck.
Put the gun down.
The second shot gets a little bit closer, singes like the side of the target, but still technically a miss.
Strike 2.
And the third and final shot out of the sort of 3 bursts that she had shot hits it not directly on the bullseye, but hits the target. Hits
Hooray!
like the second or so ring, and you can tell she's a little frazzled by it. It's a lot to sort of be throwing destructive forces.
Alex calls
at
down.
things.
Yeah,
That was very good. Next time, maybe open the eyes. that will help a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
No, eyes open like now. If you,
Oh, all right. And she opens her eyes.
it's good. It's a good start. for
Yeah,
Phil, yeah.
that was really good. Yeah, if try and keep at it. Maybe push her back another 10 meters or something at a certain point.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
she continues doing her training. She's running through a couple of shots, and she's getting better. She's definitely a novice at this, but At 10 yards, she eventually gets to the point where she's hitting pretty consistently and then starts moving back. And this is occurring over a couple of days at this point, not a couple of hours that you guys are doing.
Yeah,
Sure.
for sure.
I think one of the times we're standing there, I'm going to lean over to Micah and say, given that we don't have any extra armor, do you think you could teach her to make the glowy stuff you have?
Wait, actually, Jeff, out of character, is she, as far as we know, a full psychic or just a telepath? Or I know she has the weird 2-channel thing that Tony was talking about, but as far as we're aware, she can't do non-telepath things, right?
So you would know this just as a psychic yourself, but effectively what Alix and Micah are, they're partial psychics. So partial psychics only have the ability to practice one particular category of psychics, of psionics. So obviously Alix is biopsionics, Micah is telekinetic. From what you've heard from Claire sort of talking about herself and how it all works for her, she does have the capacity to sort of lean into some of the other psionic sort of classifications. But she's only really ever worked or has an affinity for telepathy. But that doesn't mean she couldn't like try and train herself in telekinesis.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, so to Nona, maybe eventually. I'm not sure she's kind of ready to try and pull that together right now, but she might.
So we should go find her some armor somewhere.
That would be best. Well, I mean, the acolytes are going to have some armor they can give her. Yeah, I mean, if we run into anything before then and we decided to take her outside, then sure. But I don't think it's
a cargo hold again.
a high priority problem.
All right.
So yeah,
I'm also going to go up and suggest the same thing to Alix, but like in the form of, hey, do you think you can teach her how to do healing stuff?
Perhaps. I'm all things considered, I'm not necessarily very good at it. I've never tried to teach anybody. Maybe. Why?
I just think it'll be useful to have as many psychic skills as possible.
Yeah.
Especially if she is planning on sticking around. If we had a second healer on our team,
Yeah.
something bad happened to you, she could heal you.
Well, let's not talk too much about that, knock on wood and everything. Yeah.
I look around for wood. Being on a spaceship, there is none.
Yeah, that's why we try not to talk about it on the ship. It would definitely take more than 6 days to get any results, however. And, she's busy enough with firearm training. But yeah, anyway. I'm going to go back to listening to the radio.
I don't think you actually get service in metadimensional space.
Alex is sitting and listening to white noise.
Listen to static.
Trembling hands, drinking a cup of coffee.
That's not at all concerning whatsoever.
Yeah, you guys are spending your time. Probably a couple of days pass, and Claire goes up to you, Micah, and says, so I want to try something. I have been practicing my telepathy as well, into something that is called like selective editing. So,
terrifying.
Basically, I can try and impose my will on someone in such a way that they will ignore some detail for a period of time. So I could theoretically make them like ignore the fact that something is missing, or something's there that shouldn't be, or something's weird that shouldn't be there. And it would just sort of not face them. I need someone to try it on.
You are low-key so scary sometimes. I'm just gonna muss up her hair a little bit. Yeah, sure, shoot.
So
Claire, you scare me.
she hands you an object. Let's just say it's a pen. She hands you a pen and says, "Okay, I want you to just try and remember that you have this pen in your pocket.
Okay. I'll put the pen in my pocket.
Okay. And what I'm going to need
She
you to
stabs
do...
you.
She just straight up stabs you.
Do you remember? What are you thinking about?
What? It's not the pen anymore, is it?
The pen. Twist the
Is it the
knife.
pen in your pocket or the knife in your ribs? Ta-da!
She does not do that. She so yeah, you take this pen, you put it in your pocket, and you start looking at each other, and you can see just sort of a flash behind her eyes. I'm telling you that there might be something happening, psychically speaking, and I need you to roll a will saving throw.
Oh boy. Okay. I don't
Mental.
know if I've done one of these before.
I think I made you guys do a luck saving throw, or made Kirsten do a luck saving throw.
Yeah, for
I
timing.
found that real bad.
Yeah.
Stupid
Okay.
scorpion bots. Stupid
Should
ladder
have had
fighting.
this.
Stupid
All right.
Jeff and his stupid grape with
With the straw through the middle.
dumb
So it's
straw.
wisdom saving throw?
It would be a
Or
mental
men-
saving
just
throw.
meant so
Yeah.
just flat the number that it says on the sheet, not no
So you're
modifiers.
trying to roll equal to or above that, I believe.
Okay. Got a 12 against a 13, so no.
Okay. So you see this play out in front of you where there's this flash behind her eyes. You don't really feel any different. You can't quite remember why you were doing this. So you just sort of stand there and continue to look at her. This means effectively you have forgotten that you have this pen in your pocket. And she speaks up and says, Micah, do you remember what we're doing?
Well, we were definitely sorry, I think I spaced out a little bit. Didn't you want to tell me something?
And at that, there's another sort of flash behind her eyes, and you almost like Harry Potter from the Philosopher's Stone feel, oh, there's something in my pocket.
It's a mirror.
Terrifying.
Happy to see you.
Does Mirror Me have to be so happy about it?
Oh, what? I will reach back to the pen in my pocket. So, that was. Do I like remember that what we did now, or do I just like have a perception of the pen again?
The four of spades.
So I think how it's supposed to work is you are, unless it is brought to your attention that you were unaware of this fact, you would just sort of not remember that this gap in memory sort of happened. So basically what it would feel like is you forgot something and then immediately remembered it, but within like a 2-second time frame.
Okay. I'll just pull it out and say, oh, this isn't my pen.
Mm-hmm. And,
So anyway, what was it you wanted to talk about, Claire?
and
Fantastic.
she is quite happy and pleased with this. This is, that was selective editing. Thank you. And she takes the pen and walks away.
Thank you for listening.
Okay.
Today's selective editing has been brought to you by
Letter Q.
Letter Q.
So that is something that Claire sort of has in her pocket now. She has the ability to
Fantastic.
will people to forget or overlook a thing, assuming they fail a mental saving throw.
She's so soft-spoken, but so scary.
Dude, telepathy is scary, man. Also, it's like one of the hardest psionics to like detect when it has happened. So
Yeah.
a lot of times people just be like, well, that was weird.
Yeah.
Why did I do that?
Oh,
then just
goddamn. We're going to have to
continue on
watch
our
out
way.
for Matrix deja vu moments.
Yeah.
The cat walking
Yeah,
across and then
twice.
walking across
Yeah,
again.
exactly. I am actually going to go in and go check up on whatever Alix is doing.
Okay.
Alix is going to be around in common areas during the day. I think that if we're a few days in, there's going to be noticeable bags under his eyes. As we're getting closer to the end of the spiked row, Alix has been getting less and less sleep and been drinking more and more coffee. Every once in a while, if there is a radio in the room, he doesn't listen to white noise, but he does turn it around and just kind of flick through the channels, almost like a habit, and then just kind of turn it back off. But yeah, so he's not doing anything, in particular, but kind of you'll catch him like
Just
flicking
being
through that
weird.
and noticing Nona. He'll turn off the radio. Hi. How's it going?
Fine. Are
Cool.
you okay?
Yeah, for sure.
I noticed that you are drinking more than the daily recommended amount of caffeinated beverages for a human.
He looks down and the mug has been getting steadily bigger.
If you continue at this, you might have some trouble sleeping.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. He puts down the cup of the coffee. Yeah, that'll probably do it. Yeah. I've been staying up a little bit late lately. Yeah.
Doing anything in particular?
No. I'm trying to get into yoga. I think I might go talk to Micah about it.
Well, make sure you eat something.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had breakfast. Yeah, I'll get something. He'll go stagger over to the fridge and just open it up and start looking through it.
Well, Nona's job completed. She retires.
He's next time you see him, he'll be chewing on a baby bell, just staring in his face.
Cool.
It's an incredibly awkward conversation.
Just a quick asterisk. It's actually the skill that she used, not selective editing. That's another one that I got confused with. It's called suppress cognition, which makes a little bit more sense. Selective editing, I think, deals with actually editing memory, which is another telepathy ability, but is higher up. So suppress cognition. So you guys are hanging around the ship. Alix seems to be having a rougher and rougher time.
In the days, he's definitely just kind of wandering around, and he'll join any training things with Claire, but always in the catwalk. He won't go down to the cargo bay. And at night, he similarly just kind of will stay in his room, won't be able to fall asleep, will wander over to the cargo bay, kind of looking down at where the drugs were. And then he'll go to the kitchen and make some coffee and then go back to his room. That's kind of Alix's pattern for a couple of days, yeah.
I believe that after having noticed him that first time, I'm going to be checking in on him at my normal breakfast, lunch, and dinner times and making sure he eats food. And also probably informing him that he's drinking too much caffeine if I catch him drinking caffeine. It will be incredibly repetitive.
Is Alix eating enough?
Alix is eating when he's reminded to eat.
Yes, I'm helping.
Yeah, for sure. And if somebody points out the caffeine, he starts putting it down. He puts the mug of coffee never dumps it, just kind of leaves it in arm's reach, but lets go of the mug. So if somebody's kind of watching him, he'll eventually start dozing in chairs around the house. But yeah.
Micah, having seen all of this, are you going to make any comments or anything?
So I was going to say, I think for the most part, I am too wrapped up in the training with Claire and thinking about that to especially notice what's going on. But probably at a certain point, late at night, Claire should go to bed. I might go into the kitchen to grab something and spot Alix there.
Yeah.
Again.
He's just at the table, lights off. Turn the lights. He's oh.
I've been waiting for you. Except not.
Dude, you look kind of bad. Are you all right? Something eating at you?
Yeah. No, I'm eating at this cracker.
The pinnacle of wit.
Alix, I'm gonna snap in front of his face. What's up? You're kind of a mess.
Yeah.
You look like you haven't slept in days.
Oh, I've been sleeping. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
What's up with you?
No, it's just been hard to sleep. It happens sometimes, I might try to go to bed.
You sure, man?
Yeah, I'm tired.
All right. I mean, if you want to talk about something, like we can chat, I guess. But if not, I mean, take care of yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And he'll like quickly, but not overly quickly, in his tired, sleep deprived mind, like stand up and stagger back to his bedroom.
The important question is, does he take the coffee with him?
No, he'll leave the table. He'll leave the crackers and the coffee or whatever on the table.
Probably if it's night, I'm driving and doing my normal monitoring comms thing.
Yeah.
Oh, except we're on a spike drive, so probably nothing much to drive or monitor.
You
Can
would
you
probably
really
want to check every once in a while
Okay.
that everything is going according to the rudder's course and everything, and maybe
Sure.
sometimes minutely changing certain things to make sure you're heading on the correct direction.
Sure.
But other than that, it doesn't need it's a little bit in autopilot right now once you get into it, but you
Mhm.
do need to occasionally check up on it and make sure nothing's going wrong immediately.
That's fair. I think then that's probably like my default location if nothing else is happening, because people would normally go to their rooms, but I don't really have all that much to do in my room. So I'm just going to drive.
Yeah. So I think I would head over to, the cockpit, assuming that Nona's going to be there.
Yeah.
Just kind of poke my head in. It's like, hey, how you doing?
Fine. Yourself?
You all right? Doing okay. Have you noticed that Alix has been kind of weird on this spike drill at all?
He's been consuming far too much caffeine, way above the recommended amounts for a human.
Yeah, that
Also, he forgets
makes
to
sense.
eat.
Do you know what's up with him?
I have absolutely no idea. Perhaps we should get Claire to read his mind.
It's a little invasive. I don't think that he deserves that. Even Alix deserves some privacy. But yeah, I don't know. He seems like he's a bit of a mess right now. And I don't want to pry too much, but we should keep an eye out for him at least.
Okay. I will up my attention.
That's kind of the best we can do. He's not the chatty type, really.
So I'm anticipating this talk is probably happening at least halfway through in order
Probably.
for
People to
this
have noticed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and for it to have gotten
Yeah.
this bad. So one of you guys are getting close to leaving meta-dimensional space, and Alix, one of the times you are in your room, sort of going through the static on the radio, you hear a knock on the door.
I turn off the radio and I like sit in the room for a little bit.
Alix, are you in there?
I'm gonna hide from a telepath by turning the radio off. Oh yeah.
Looks like runs a hand through his hair. Yeah, hold up. And I go and I open the door. Hey, what's up? You woke me up.
I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
Can we talk?
Yeah, of course, anytime. I have a chair. You can go sit down.
Okay. And it's now that you recognize that Argos is with her, and you let them both into your room. Do you let them both into your room?
Yeah, Argos can come in.
Okay.
But he's on thin ice, mister.
I assume you sit on the edge of the bed, and
I sit on my bed, yeah.
She sits next to the chair, and Argos sort of curls up between the two of you. Alix, I'm worried about you. I see how you're acting recently, and even though I haven't known you for too long, I know this is different. And I haven't been snooping, you know. I'm worried, and I want to make sure you're okay. So, truthfully, honestly, Are you okay? What's going on?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's. I'm not doing the best. Yeah, obviously. I'm just worried, I think. And it's hard for me to sleep when I'm very worried. And that's the root of it. So no, I'm not doing very well. But it's not as far from normal as you think it is.
If you don't mind me asking, what are you worried about?
Oh, you know. It's people, things. Sometimes it feels like you can be worried about everything. And, I can kind of live with that for sometimes, but it's hard right now.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for checking. I'm sorry for making you worry.
If you ever need to talk, I'm sure Micah is here as well. Nona is a little bit of a hard one to
she
sort of.
She tries
nut to
her
crack.
best. Damn it!
You're not here right now.
I'm just saying.
And even if you don't want to talk, but just want someone to understand how you're feeling, I can do that. I can help if you want. I don't want to pry. I don't want to look at things that are supposed to be private to you, but I see that you're hurting and want you to know that if you feel like talking about it, I'm here.
You're very good at this. Thank you. Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay. And Argos picks his head up as she gets up and says, okay. I'll talk to you later.
Mm-hmm.
I thought for a second you said
for the door.
Argos says, and I was like, what the fuck?
No, she gets up and Argos picks up his head at that, and she walks out the door, followed by Argos, and you're there to sort of sit in this silence.
Yeah, Alix looks at his backpack with mounds of drugs in it.
This is probably a bad time to call this out, but given after our conversation, Micah and mine, and me paying more attention, I'm probably going to be attempting to discreetly follow Alix around whenever possible. So like that conversation, I know he's in his room, so like I'm like down the hall, but just like sitting there.
You just have a cup to the door.
No. I just need to know where he is. We're like
Okay.
nature documentary kind of
I
people,
see.
like hiding in the bushes, except I'm very bad at it and I have no bushes.
Stalker.exe.
running.
So yeah, you guys have been spending the majority of this spike drill helping out Claire with some of her training, just to try and like at least give her some rudimentary basics on if she does get in danger and she can protect herself. And also she's trying to learn more about her powers and that stuff as well. And Alix has been dealing with some things. Anything else major before you guys sort of get to that 5-6 day range and are about to leave metadimensional space?
I don't think so. I think as long as Alix hasn't noticeably deteriorated in any way, I'm just going to continue by following him around.
Yeah, I think there's enough to do with Claire that is taking most of my attention. So, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, here's an interesting question, just for semantics' sake. I do have the split focus subroutine. Can I run that and make that do the minor adjustments while my main self goes elsewhere? Or do I have to be in the cockpit in order to do that?
You don't have a peripheral in order to sort of split focus do that, if that makes sense. Like,
Okay.
if you were able to link up some computer nearby to
Sure.
you, like you're physically going to try and be following him around, so you're not also physically there. So that
Yeah.
physical limitation right
Okay,
now
that's
is
what I
what's
thought. I
causing
just
the
wanted to make
issue.
sure. Cool.
So, yeah, you guys are getting closer to leaving metadimensional space. And
I think if Nona is actively following Alix around, Alix is going to notice. And it'll be fine at first, but towards like a second or maybe third day of this, you're going to see Alix like giving you some side eye, like mad. It's like the beginnings of anger starting to pick up.
can you roll a charisma no check for me, Nona?
Oh, this is going to be fun.
It's not good, I feel.
It's about the worst it can be, actually. I got a 1.
Cool.
Alix doesn't know you're there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I am the knight.
Well, he like enters a room and Nona like casually strolls into the room and just like stands in front of a counter. And Alix will leave. Like 2 seconds will pass and then Nona will leave the room.
Yeah, that is exactly what I'm talking about.
Alix doesn't say anything.
So that all is happening, and near the last couple of hours before you guys leave metadimensional space, Claire goes up to you and she has a pair of scissors in her hands.
Oh God! Oh God!
I realize now with the previous session,
Honey, where'd
this
you
is a
get
little
those?
bit worried, but don't worry. There's a reason for this madness.
Okay.
And she goes up to you, Mike, and says, if I'm going to be in combat, or maybe not combat, but like in a dangerous situation, it's maybe better if I didn't have super long hair. Would you help me maybe try and trim it up a bit?
I'm going to choke back a little tear that she's asking me for help with cutting her hair. So yes, I can definitely do that. Or I'll definitely try.
Because
I don't know if that's something I need to roll for, but I will try to help her cut her hair.
I'm gonna let it pass because I don't want to give her a bad haircut. Oh no, I have bangs now.
As it will be incredibly important on this an audio only medium.
Yeah, but effectively, you guys are able to shorten her hair down and make it look presentable. Because as I've just described it before, she had this pretty long flowing hair, and maybe not like down to the hips, but definitely it was reaching like the middle of her back. So it was quite a lot of hair.
So is what she wants just like the same thing, but like up around the shoulders, or like a particular style, or
She's like doing the big chop. Like she's going for like
the
Pixie
Mulan
or,
cut.
Okay, so
no,
like,
even shorter than Mulan.
Shorter than
Mulan
me.
tied
I
it
just
up,
meant
right?
more in the sense of like she just took a sword and like went at it.
yeah, because I've got kind of like a bob cut, so not like super short, but she kind of wants to get it up there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Respect that.
Roll.
All right, roll.
Yes.
Yes.
What are you roll? This is a work dexterity.
This is a
That's a
sad
good.
thing.
That's a good.
All right. Yeah.
But I can
it
call
does
out
work.
for a fact that pixie cuts are incredibly hard to give if you're a person who is not particularly skilled in the barber thing.
Oh yeah.
No one asked about that.
Why I didn't want to have Micah roll.
Uh-oh.
That's cocked.
cocked. Yeah, it is on a corner.
Fuck, so 7.
That is
terrible.
good enough to give a
Passable
respectable-
haircut. Let's go.
Respectable.
It is not a
Haircut.
bowl cut.
It
Congratulations.
is not a
Not a
bowl
bowl
cut.
cut.
Da-na-na-na.
She might want to go to an actual like
Get it touched
hairstylist to like touch it up a little bit, but it looks good.
I won't
Passable.
hold that against her. That's it.
Yeah.
We'll
Exactly.
hit up a space supercuts on Orsiame. It'll be
No,
fine.
not space supercuts. They'll make it worse. This episode brought to you by space supercuts.
They'll make it worse.
Space supercuts. You just want to get fucked up. Swing on by. It'll take 10 minutes.
Good times. All right. So all of that has happened. Nona, you alert everyone in the crew that you were going to leave metadimensional space.
Now leaving
so-
metadimensional space.
Quickly,
Thank
day
you for your
of
visit. Please come back
the
soon.
day of leaving metadimensional space, Alix is going to take a dose of the wide awake serum that we got from the space station.
Okie doke.
Fantastic.
Remind us what that does exactly. Did you have it written down? I could also look it up.
It's in the thing. I know that it keeps you wide awake for up to 7 days, and you're full of alertness and energy.
Fantastic.
Uh,
This will have
you
no
cannot
negative
recover
repercussions.
This is
systems.
fine.
You cannot recover system strain during that time.
Okay. Is there anything about a second dose of wide awake serum?
Nope.
That's like taking 2 48-hour energies. You just don't do it.
Yeah.
What?
Wide awake serum gives the user enormous vigor and alertness for up to 7 days at a time. The user need not sleep or even rest, but during this time, it is impossible to recover accrued system strain. And I think that not sleeping, accrues system strain is kind of how that
System
works,
strain,
right?
Mm.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, that. So Alex? Do you still what's the word? Are you still like drinking coffee and are super jittery, or
No,
describe what
day
you are
of
after this?
so yeah, I think night of is very bad for Alix. Whatever internal lights come up in the ship that tells us that it's morning. Alix sits up in bed, looks over at the backpack, digs through it, stops on the revelry syringe for a while, picks up the wide awake serum, takes it, and comes down the next day, still looking pretty fucked up, like pale and with eyes with bags under his eyes, but not drinking coffee, fixes himself breakfast. Whatever, Nona hasn't noticed anything, but whatever anger was around there is probably gone. He's good to go. Good morning. All right, let's try not to get blown apart as we make our way to Orsiame. Normal stations? Should I take up gunner?
Sure.
Yeah,
I will
Cool.
try.
that's where you've been before, right? Yeah.
I think so.
I don't think I can help with anything.
We put her on comms last time. It did not go well.
Yeah,
I can be there for emotional support.
it's all right. Yeah. That sounds good.
Okay.
We give her a chair next to the pilot seat and give her like one of those
Like a little
stickers with
steering
the
wheel.
wings on it. Congratulations, you're a co-pilot.
You ever seen the
goodness
inside of a Turkish prison?
Hate it.
Anyway, one airplane reference later. So you guys are getting out of metadimensional space.
Mhm.
You sort of, as this happens, this opalescent sort of fog and haze that covered the screens before gets sort of pulled away from the front of your spaceship, and you are able to see the stars again, and what you believe yourself to again be in regular space.
We believe ourselves to be.
Yeah, I realized
Oh,
that.
God.
That's maybe not the best choice.
I
of
turn over
words.
and slap Claire. Are we still in normal space? Kidding.
Does the radio work?
So, where are you guys heading?
Orsiame?
Orsiame?
Yep. So we just show up in like the entry point for this system, right?
Yep.
Is how this works. Yeah. So head to Orsiame.
Yep.
All right. And you guys sort of discussed this was the place that you were going to go. And where are you headed on Orsiame? This is a chance for me to talk about Orsiame for.
Let's
for
talk
once.
about
Really
geography.
quick
That I
question.
remember the names of places. I promise.
You absolutely don't.
I remember
I saved it on my phone though.
I remember when we originally did the spike drill, we only had fuel enough for one of those, but also I think we discussed the ability to like, there are this many fuel tanks. You can, if you fill up all the way, you can do it this many times. Don't know what that number was.
You have an extra fuel bunker, I believe. It should also be listed on the Phoenix's score sheet, which you guys
How
are
many
keeping
tabs
track
must
of.
I open?
But I believe the Phoenix has effectively 2 fuel bunkers, so you can make
Sweet.
2 jumps without having to refuel until you need to refuel again. So you could theoretically go back to Medinar right now if you want.
No. I just wanted to like, how much are we looking for a gas station?
You're
Is the
on
idea.
half.
Okay.
Like going around a particular system is fine,
Right.
is easy. You're able to do that just fine. It's jumping between systems that requires that
Yeah,
fuel load. So
right.
you could effectively do one more spike drill before you have to look for a gas
And how
station.
many rudders do we got?
You have the rudder between Medinar and Magalca. That's it.
Cool. And that's still in pretty okay condition.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't degrade until like 6 months or something. And you
Okay.
got the most recent version, so
Fair enough.
that'll be good for a while.
Just knowing how our group works, I want to prepare for a quick exit. Should the need arise?
You need it.
Should the need arise, we can leave real fast.
So we can discuss Orsiame when you guys get closer, but whereabouts are you guys headed? So I can talk a little bit about the geography, maybe not what everything looks like, but Orsiame has effectively 4 continents on it. There's, I'm sure everyone's going to remember all of these things.
Mhm.
Ostia, Corstia, Strania, and Gilfern. Yep. Gilfern's the odd one out. Ostia is the biggest one. It's where most of the population lives. It's also where the capital city of Principa is.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Picture.
Yeah.
You want to toss that in the drive if it's not already there?
Ostia, Costia, Sostia, and Gopher.
Ostia,
And Bob.
Corstia,
Corstia.
and Strania.
Okay.
Horstia, you say?
Corstia, yes.
Got it. I thought for a second you
Horstia.
said Horstia, and I get very excited. Nona is secretly a horse girl.
Micah is from Orsiame and has friends in the, to just remind Micah in case
Micah forgot.
Micah forgot,
Mhm.
in the city of Brees on Strania.
Yep.
To talk a little bit about the political nature of Orsiame, we already hear a little bit about what's going on there. There's a civil war happening. The current ruling class, known as the Children of the Silence, has the majority of Ostia. Is really the only presence in Gilfern. In fact, Gilfern doesn't really have any population. It's too difficult to live there in order to have cities. And then Corstia and Strania, a little bit less so. Strania is the most psychic, sympathizing group. The ones that sympathize the most with the secondary group that is fighting for control over the planet, which is known as the Acolytes of the End.
Oh, great.
Okay.
You got an Acolyte of the End on your ship.
Yeah, but I don't think I knew that.
Oh,
I didn't know. He had like
Ask
she had
for
a
people's
title.
backstory. I'm sorry. Have you met us? We don't talk. We sit there in silence and we do space yoga, and we teach a small child how to shoot.
Alex
Kind of
never
our thing.
brought up space yoga after that brief mentioning. Just want to be very clear.
Oh,
Alex.
If
yeah,
I'd heard
but
about it,
like-
I would have pursued it, but I wasn't
No.
there.
Yeah, no, it's very fair.
Micah and Alix would know that it's not necessarily 2 fronts. It is one overwhelming power, which is the Children of Silence, and the other one, which is a bunch of disconnected cells. The Acolytes of the End, that is. So they talk to one another and occasionally plan things together, but they oftentimes work in parallel rather than together. The Acolytes of the End,
Got
that
it.
is.
There's no battlefield. There.
Yeah, not exactly.
Orsiame is the battlefield.
Exactly.
Oof.
The Acolytes of the End do use quite a lot of guerrilla tactics, and occasionally a battlefield will arise. There are psychic sympathizers that aren't psychics themselves who help out with the Acolytes of the End, but a lot of the members of Acolytes of the End are psychics themselves, the ones that are getting the short end of the stick on Orsiame.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the general idea of what's happening there. Micah, you would know that if you tried to land on Ostia, there would be a lot of eyes on you. Ostia is the most heavily fortified. It is the one where the most sort of attacks happen because it is the foothold of the Children of Silence itself. So anything new in or out of Ostia is oftentimes very closely looked at. Strania is much laxer when it comes to what's coming in and out, especially the city of Brees, which is why you guys took up living there. That's why you guys operate out of Brees specifically. But that's not to say that it is controlled by the Acolytes of... Sorry. Yeah, that does not mean it's controlled by the Acolytes at the End. The vast majority of it, of the entire planet of Orsiame, most cities are still owned and controlled and protected, I say that with quotation marks, by the Children of the Silence.
I just want to pause for a moment and just say a big hearty congratulations to Jeff for having come up with 2 separate names on 2 sides of war that both sound like the bad guys. That's just, it's impressive. That's all.
It's nice when it's spelled out for you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they can't all be the Paragon freelancers.
Rude.
So, yeah, I'm going to direct Nona to bring us toward the city of Brees on the continent of Astronia.
Now, is this like multiple cheeses or like soft wind?
2 E's.
Ah,
Oh,
got it.
Breeze.
Got it.
Like Drew Brees, the quarterback. Who
No.
only I probably
that's
know.
nothing.
No,
That's
no.
not a.
You
That,
didn't
It
need
doesn't
to let
help.
us know that was a reference.
Doesn't
It's
help
not a
at all.
reference.
yeah, everything on
It's
Orsiame is
No,
a
it's
football
not.
thing.
Okay.
It came up and I liked
Come
the
and
name of it.
meet the
Oh,
leader
did
of
you
the
use
Acolytes
the
of the End,
shuffle?
Brady.
Oh, I used that, like almost every single one of these names came from that fantasy
Oh,
generator.
love the random name generator.
Mm.
It's the best
Awesome.
thing, so I don't have to think of stupid names.
Come meet the old man Belichick, leader of the Patriots. Oh, no, Orsiame. Beautiful Orsiame.
He is the cyborg Tom Brady, and with him he has won
Him and his empty ball.
6 superb owls.
The
All right,
best owl.
let's get to
Anyway,
this goddamn
sorry,
planet.
sorry.
So, anyway.
Yeah, let's land.
Yep, so we're
Okay,
going to
we do
head
that.
there.
And as we know before, traveling in space sometimes takes a while. You're traveling in between regions, so it's going to be another 2 days.
Gross.
Okay.
So, what do you guys do during those 2 days?
Same
the
damn
continue
thing.
sort of thing?
Yeah, Alex is doing a lot better.
He is awake.
Yep,
Very
wide awake.
Wide awake, one might say.
Oh, no.
Yep. I am going to probably try and radio in or contact the folks on the ground, let them know that we're close by. If we have like a secure channel or something that we use for our activities.
Sure. Yeah. So you hop on the comms channel and start trying to reach out to them. There's only so fast, because you guys are still 2 days away, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's only so fast that light and radio waves can sort of travel.
Mm-hmm.
So you send in your little message. What kind of message? What was it saying exactly?
Letting them know this is Micah. I'm on my way back to check in and brought a potential new recruit.
Okay. So you send out this message on your sort of more encrypted channel, so people can't necessarily listen in. And at this distance, you wouldn't necessarily expect a response, probably and because they might also be away. So you probably give it a couple of hours before you get a response back. And you check in occasionally for any new hails or calls, and there doesn't seem to be anything in. You're not sure whether there was some interference that maybe prevented your message from getting there. That's a possibility. But if they did get your message, it would have been weird if they didn't respond by now.
Okay. Well, yeah, maybe they're not home. So yeah, still keep on going to the same place, and we maybe be a little more on guard.
Okay. Do you don't send additional messages to try and make sure you've gone through that interference? You just assume that everything's fine, no one's home.
I think either they got it or they didn't, and if like the channel got compromised or something, I don't want to give away more information.
Completely fair.
Okay. Alix is gonna check the accounts to see if that money has come through from the Paragon freelancers yet.
1 second, I'm writing.
No problem. Jeff is keeping account of all the things Claire's stolen from us, since he can just edit things out of existence now.
Yep, exactly.
That would be pretty hard to maintain, though, I think.
The smuggler's hold.
Oh, shit.
What was the question again?
He's gonna check if the money has come through from the Paragon freelancers yet.
Yes. So from the estimation that Rodana gave you, you guys should have about 100,000 credits coming your way over some period of time. You check the account that you gave to Rodana to put the money into, and you do see that there's 50,000 credits there.
Ideally, I would have opened that under one of the very fake IDs that they gave us. Like, it's a new one. It's not one that
yes,
previously existed.
It would be under one of your guys' fake IDs.
Cool.
Which we haven't discussed the names of, but we'll just hand wave that right now unless you want to come up with a name.
Back to the random name generator we go.
KK Slider.
Oh, God.
All right, KK Slider.
That's it. You're no longer allowed to name yourself.
Carl Cleveland Slider.
In the Cleveland is with a K. All right, I'm writing that down.
He's a normal guy.
So yeah, make note of that. You guys have 50,000 credits that
in a shared account.
It was originally, I thought we were getting 50 each, but then I spent half of mine on robot parts.
I didn't want to math. Why'd you bring this up?
I'm sorry.
So you guys were originally going to get 125,000 because the whole total I said was 250,000.
Got it.
250,000 by half.
Yep.
You guys get 125,000, and then I said you took about 25,000 credits worth of parts.
Yes.
I know it's not technically half, but I'm just going to hand wave it. Someone's going to get the extra credit rollover in the 33,333 and
33
I see.
paying.
Got it.
yeah.
Cool.
Give it to Claire.
So right now we have 50,000.
You get a single credit.
Good job, buddy.
Cool.
You guys have about half of the money in the account.
Micah, good news. I can buy you a watch.
Good. That's good news.
I should also get the compad and the bioscanner.
Yeah, we should definitely be able to pick up some of those things easy once we get into the city.
Good.
All right. So anything else that happens in those 2-ish days? I assume more training. Additionally, between the telepathy and shooting training that Claire is doing, she's also been training Argos. Very basic
Claire
stuff.
is the most productive person on the ship.
Yeah, she needs to keep herself busy. Like teaching him like sit down, come, drop, kind of, the basic dog commands. Nothing like sick 'em yet, but you gotta work your way up to that, right?
Yeah.
Space Ranger Claire.
And like transform.
Oh my God.
So she's training Argos a little bit, and the two of them have bonded quite heavily. So you guys, if you don't have anything more to discuss or role play,
I'll probably briefly mention to Micah that it looks like Alix has stopped drinking more than the recommended amount of caffeine for a person. So that's good.
Okay. That's either a good thing or a especially bad thing.
Why would it
But
be
all right.
especially bad?
Well, changes in behavior mean that something changed one way or the other. can't assume always, Nona.
Hmm.
You don't always know what's going on with people.
I most often don't know what's going on.
Alex
with
is a
people.
tough nut.
Pretty much
But,
constantly.
I'm gonna
How dare you?
assume that that's probably not bad because we threw out all the drugs, right?
I have 10.
Side note, Alex,
Mhm.
I know you
Yes, Jeffrey.
or David. Who am I speaking to now?
Is Alex in the room right now?
David, I know you picked up all of those stim packs from Glazov 5. Did you do that in secret? Are Nona and Micah unaware of the fact that you obtained these drugs?
I don't know. We talked about it briefly. We went through residential. I don't. It's if he like found them, he would have just kind of put them in his pack without necessarily being like, "Hello, I have all of these things."
Yeah.
That's what he's used to.
I was assuming that I wasn't aware that Alex had the drugs.
Yeah, probably the same. Again, unless it's called out. I was very busy with other things.
I'm going to say that you were definitely aware that
He got stuff.
he was getting stuff from the residential district.
Medical supplies. Yeah.
Maybe medical supplies is what he specifically told you.
Mhm.
You were not aware of exactly what he got, like
Yeah.
specifically wide awake or something like that. But
Yeah.
you were aware that he picked up things from the ring as well, specifically relating to medical
All
supplies.
right.
or
Yeah.
something.
So that probably wouldn't cross my mind that that's exactly what was going on. Yeah.
It's just so people remember what they actually remember.
Yeah.
So we can talk. You guys spend these 2 days going through pretty standard, doing what you were kind of carry over from getting out of metadimensional space. You haven't gotten any hails or any stress beacons or anything like that. And you come across this planet of Orsiame, which you're heading towards.
Frickin' finally. That's Kirsten, not Nona.
And I know you guys have all seen a picture of this now because I drew it out and Philip took a quick picture of it. But to quickly describe what this planet looks like, you come and see a fairly blue planet. There's one large landmass that's sort of sitting on the center of it facing you right now, which you can assume to be Ostia. And then a couple of smaller continents, islands, somewhere in that that geographical vicinity that come off to the different sides of it. And as you get closer, you notice Orsiame has a very strange, what's the right word? Terraform. It's sort of how it's shaped and the nature of the land itself. When it was terraformed, it went a little haywire and things got a little weird.
Mhm.
So the entire land mass is extremely, and when I say extremely, it is like
Many.
many, extremely mountainous. And when I say extremely mountainous, there are sheer ravines dotted everywhere. There is just a high elevation almost beside then low elevation. You see like water sort of feed the water from the rest of the ocean feed into these channels because it's just, there are parts of it that are just sheer cliffs. It is a very mountainous area. Micah and Alix would be aware of this, that this causes the weather to behave strangely at times. There are really only two modes of weather on Orsiame, either extreme downpour or drought, because of the elevation causes like clouds to immediately drop their things, and depending on the shifting of the currents, some places get drought and some places are absolutely getting monsooned and others. This also leads to, especially in the ravines, have massive wind tunnels as well that need to actually be careful when you're flying through, because they can't, the amount of wind can force a ship into the sides of these ravines. So strange geography for a planet, extremely mountainous, but a lot of hiding places if you didn't want to be seen.
Home sweet home.
Yeah. And Claire is also taking this in because, as you guys are aware, she is from Orsiame as well. You later learn that she was from a small town in Ostia that was attacked by the Children of the Silence, specifically because there were terrorists here. Whoops. No terrorists? Well, there may have been terrorists here, kind of deal.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Bad time to introduce this planet, exactly. But yeah, so you guys are coming in for a landing. You're heading for Brees, which is actually one of the more, it has one of the nicer airflows to it. It's not super hard, which is maybe why I got the name of Brees. It is a fairly, for Orsiame, a fairly flat city, probably one of the largest, if not the largest, on Strania. And you guys get hailed.
I thought you said there was only rain.
Oh, boy.
Sorry.
Oh, boy.
Who's taking comms?
I think that if nobody, what was your original position?
I was in the repair engine station.
Right. I'm probably got one of my secondaries on comms then.
I think comms.
Does it have to be run by a person?
What? No. I'm trying to think what the skill that's, I think it's program that is useful for
Fantastic.
comms. There you go. So you get hailed over comms as you come towards the planet. And a voice on the other side speaks out and says, Frigate Phoenix, what brings you to Orsiame today?
This is where Micah lives.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to be more specific. There are a lot of Micahs that could be here. Do you have a full name?
I'm going to page Micah. We're like, Micah, you want to come talk to the people?
Oh, God. Yeah, if that's like over the speakers, I'm going to try and go over to comms.
Sorry, sprinting.
And get on comms, say like, oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're coming into Brees to just do a little shopping for a bit.
Merchant related?
Yep, some trading. Yep.
Do you have any materials that you would like to claim?
Fuck, we just have weapons.
We also have motorbikes.
You've got weapons, motorbikes, and drugs.
We have some motor vehicles that we're going to be possibly trading.
Okay, I will write that down here. How long will be your stay?
Oh, not long. A few days tops. Not totally sure, but probably a few days.
I'll write you down for 7. If you plan to stay longer than that, you will need to reach out to a Brees authority in order to amend your visa.
Of course.
We have a section for you on AirPad 15. And it gives you instructions about where to land specifically.
Awesome. Let's go there.
So,
if the comms are off, I'm going to be like, you didn't mention all of the guns. Is this another one of those hide those situations?
This is one of the things where the government doesn't like it when you have guns. Maybe
That's a problem because
write
we
that
have
one
a
down.
lot of guns. We just have so many guns.
The government doesn't like it when the wrong people have guns.
Yeah, maybe those go in the smuggler's hold.
So a couple of other things that you would be aware of. So you guys currently have guns, which obviously not ideal.
Mm-hmm.
There's an added caveat on it in that pre-tech artifacts like the components that Nona has, like those weapons that you have, and like those stim packs that you have, Alix, those are often heavily monitored, as well as what's the right word? They got a lot of legal stuff around them.
Sure.
Because,
Contraband.
Yeah, they're effectively contraband. You won't see things pre-tech being sold on standard places. And if someone tries to sell you it, it would definitely need to be back channel. Governments don't like people, like regular civilians, having pre-tech because of how powerful it can be, and also sometimes how dangerous it can be, both to themselves and to others. So pre-tech is something that you would have a hard time selling on the normal market. You'd need to find a specific buyer for it. So oftentimes people who are adventurers or scavengers of some kind, if they do find pre-tech, often will keep it for themselves and use it in order to get richer rather than sell it to get rich. That's not to say that they can't sell pre-tech. It's just a lot harder than just opening up a stall and saying, look at all my ancient artifacts.
Yeah. I think the idea was we've got all these extra fancy guns, and we're probably not going to use 30 guns amongst ourselves, but probably find some back channel to get rid of them through.
Additionally, Micah, you'd be aware that open carries and concealed carries are against Brees law. Mm-hmm. So if you do decide to bring weapons, it's not something you can just brandish, as well as armor. There's some levels of armor that are okay. The more secure clothing, that's something that goes underneath. You can't necessarily see it, but I don't think you guys have this. But if someone walks around in just combat armor, people are around and like, no one would be around in combat armor unless they're expecting or want to get into a fight. So oftentimes wearing combat armor as well in general public is against the rules. So just an idea of what you guys can...
got a lot of rules. Do not care for this.
It is a planet in civil war, so...
Oh, I'm well aware. It makes sense. I'm just calling out.
So just be aware of those things as you prepare. If you do want to bring weapons, you probably can't bring long-necked rifles because that's not something you can easily hide on your person. But obviously you can hide a handgun in your bag. But if you have a handgun in your bag and you're picked up, that's not looking good for you. So just an idea of what you should maybe bring, what you should maybe hide. So I think that those are all like the major caveats.
So as we go through landing procedure, Alix is going to start moving guns into the smuggler's hold, the pre-tech stuff. Mm-hmm. Do that. He's going to leave his own weapons in his room, the laser stuff, and probably just going to drop his backpack there too. Or he's going to take out the pre-tech stuff and take his backpack.
Okay.
But no weapons on him.
Micah, I guess you don't need to bring any weapons around.
Sure don't.
Given that Nona is very much a rule follower, so if someone informs her of this, she will return her pre-tech shotgun to the smuggler's hold, put it in with all the other guns, and probably laser stuff in the room. 10 drugs probably under the bed. No. You know what? Made into the bed. Like
tucked in gently.
I will say the reverie itself it's not pre-tech, so you wouldn't be charged with that, but it is an off-brand controlled drug substance. So you don't have to, but it wouldn't get you as much trouble as
that's fair
waving around the fact that you're a true AI.
I think in general, my desire to fly completely under the radar would motivate me to very much letter of the law.
Okay.
And then I'm going to ask Micah about where we're going specifically.
So we've got a hideout kind of sort of on the outskirts of the city. And that's where we're going to be trying to meet up with my folks, my teammates, not my family.
Can I take a hover bike there?
Yeah.
Hover bikes would probably be useful in this terrain.
Those are street legal.
Yep, they are street legal.
So, yeah.
Fantastic. Then Nona considers herself armed enough.
So you guys land. Are you bringing Claire with you?
Yes,
I
definitely.
would say so.
Does that mean you're bringing Argos with you? Or are you leaving Argos in
How
the car?
fast can he run? Because I don't think he can fit on the back of the bike.
Not faster than the hover bike.
Not as fast as a hover bike.
I think the good boy might have to stay on the ship.
Yeah, probably. Probably a good plan also because he's not as good at hiding the fact that he's a robot as I am.
It's true.
And, well, I mean...
So
remember that time he was like, danger.
Remember,
normal dogs do not do that.
Remember 2 seconds ago when you were like, I'm a robot.
Well, yes, but everyone here already knew that.
I haven't heard Argo say those exact words, so it is heavily implied.
Fair.
So
I will work on that.
Claire tells him to stay, and he's not the happiest, but he does. And you guys depart. You land. You are on that pad 15 that you were told to land on. You're met with a man going through checks and stuff like that. And it says, the Phoenix, merchant visa, 7 days. And you're claiming a couple of motor vehicles. May I see them?
Yep, they're right here.
And you walk him into the cargo hold. He looks them over and he says, "Yep, everything seems to be checked out here. We have 100 credits a night stay that will be charged at the end of your stay. So if you guys decide to stay longer or leave earlier, we will be charging an account. Can I have that account information?" I assume you give that.
Yeah, KK Slider at First Space Bank.
All right.
God damn it.
Bank of Space.
It's the only bank you need.
Carl
Space.
Cleveland Slider. That's an interesting name.
It's
sir.
a family name.
Yeah. All right. And he hands the ID back to you, having taken all your information. He says, "You can head down that walkway there, and then I'll take you into downtown Brees. Have a nice day."
Thank
and
you.
He goes on to
You
the
too.
other.
Fuck.
And you guys are on Brees now. Don't worry, there's no one waiting at the end of the line to wave you down and take you somewhere else this time.
Oh, we're
Oh,
just
no.
in the city.
So
Yeah.
there are 4 of you, 2 to each bike, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's riding with
That's what I
who?
Well, who has the second best pilot skill?
Not Claire.
Do I?
I'm
Not
guessing
me.
that's true.
How to? I guess I can drive.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Also, you know where we're going, so that's
You know-
probably
you know what?
regardless of things. Just I'm gonna
That's not
give
a
you the
bad
already
point.
banged up one.
That's not a bad point. Yeah. Okay. I'll figure it out. I know how to drive.
Okay.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely know how to drive.
How hard could it be?
That
Technically.
skill is like if you have to do it under pressure, right?
Yeah.
Like just driving down the street, you all would have an idea of how to do that.
Fair.
I'll probably get on with Nona we'll put Claire on with Nona and I'll ride behind Micah.
Give her the safer
Give her
one.
the safer one.
So you
Yeah,
guys
okay, that's
make
fair.
your way through down this runway.
Slow down, slow down.
Making our way downtown.
Yep, into the this building at the end of the walkway, and they do another quick check just to make sure everything's up. They have you walk through metal detectors. No, you don't go off your some alloy that doesn't get detected
Hooray!
because I don't want to deal with it right now.
Agreed.
It's a bad
sounds-
Seems like a
detector.
good design.
You would be
choice.
aware of this as
Yeah.
well.
She has a plate in her everything.
Everywhere.
It's
And as you guys are getting situated, you overhear a newscast. We're doing this again.
Hooray!
News today on the assassination attempt of Hunter Kane, 5-star Cassian general that occurred 2 weeks ago. The suspect, Vaughn McRaven, has been identified as a radical pro-psychic terrorist cell leader with violent tendencies. Silent operators have believed that several terror attacks on Ostia were planned and conducted by McRaven and his cell. McRaven has been moved to a high-security prison for psychics on Ostia to await trial and interrogation. There have been some questions as to why an important Cassian general was on Orsiame at the time without a protective detail, which has been answered late last week by a Cassian official. General Kane was off duty and was taking some much-needed vacation time with his wife on the island of Korstia. General Kane was under the protection of undercover service members, but was lured away by some means that is still under investigation. General Kane remains in a stable condition under hospital supervision, and it fades out. And that is where we'll end today's episode.
Cool.
Fuck.
Philip has feelings.
Oh God. That's bad.
Oh, also, important question. Did you tell anybody else about Claire's new power? Did Claire tell anybody else about Claire's new power?
It probably didn't come up.
All right, then.
I don't think so.
She probably would have told you. This is the thing that I can do now and then try it on all of you.
Yeah.
That's fair.
very
Did it work
kind.
on me?
Did it work on me?
Yeah, that is information.
To close out the episode,
Close out the-
let's just say the McRaven is back.